Hello, welcome back to the channel, and today it's all about wheels, tyres and spacers, specifically on the Renault Extra and the Williams. Spacers for both, changing wheels on the Williams, new tyres as you can see. We'll be going on the van. So yes, that's what today's episode is all about. It won't be a very long one, just a quick one, just to basically show you what I'm doing. So anyway, let's get into it. Right, so first of all, let's just get straight onto the van. First thing, the van. As you all know, I bought a set of turbine wheels for this. Looks lovely. The tyres had plenty of tread. They were getting a bit old though, and I thought I'll just run them for now. But as you can see in this one, it is flatter than anything. This, doesn't matter what you do, always keeps going down. I've even had the valve replaced, keeps going down. These are 195 50 15s, which is what a lot of people do fit to these wheels. They originally came with 185 55 15s, same as the Williams. So as you can see, Pilot Sport 3s, where are we? Anyway, wherever we are, these are 195 50 15s. Again, the Williams should have 185 55 15s from new. So, being as I'm replacing the tyres on here, I thought, do you know what, sod it. These are old tyres, this one keeps going down. It's just annoying me, they're really rock hard. So I thought, right, let's get some new tyres for the van. So again, I've just gone for proxies, but I've gone for 185 55 15 this time, the original profile, which I think will help with a little bit of skinniness. Will help on this, especially when we lower it. I think they'll look right. Like I say, the Michelin pilots on this, which is what Michelin's would have been on both these sets of wheels from new, on the 16 valve and on the Williams. But you can't get a decent set of Michelins in that size now. So I don't know what I'm going to do with these at the moment when it comes to changing, but these are cracking. They're old and they're cracking. So this is another thing about what the video is all about. I'll be fitting my 16-inch wheels back onto this in this video and putting new tyres on that, along with some spacer work, which we'll get into in a minute. So, as you'll have seen in my previous videos on the Williams, especially the intro one, which has the speed lines on, when you fit the 16-inch Group A speed lines, they don't just bolt straight on. You need spacers, and you need a stud set, and you need 60-degree tapered bolts, because the Group A seating for the nuts is 60-degree taper, not the usual 90. So you need them specific things. Also, the reasoning behind the spacers, in fact I'll flick you around, hang on. So the reason behind the spacers on the wheels, or goes onto the hub and then the wheels, is because the Group A fitting, the Group A hubs on the rally cars are completely different to the road cars. So the offset's completely different. These are made in just one offset, and that is for the Group A cars. This SL 676 in 16-inch are made specifically in the original Group A fitment. So to fit them on the road car, you have to put the spacers on. These are 16, 17 mil, I think, and they came as a kit from Bordenova Sport over in France, along with all the studs, which I'm still cleaning up. I have cleaned some up already, and these are looking nice. So yes, they are what you fit on to fit the 16-inch wheels onto the road-going Clio Williams /16 valve. The only thing is, and I will insert a photo now, is when you do fit the 16-inch wheels on this car, the 16mm spacers all round mean that the rear wheels end up tucked in too far. And yes, it is fine, but I've never been a massive fan of it. So I decided to do a bit of research and a bit of thinking and run the 16mm spacers on the front, because the fitment on that is perfect, and change the rear ones to some wider ones, which I'll show you now. So 16mm spacers, original ones, well not original but what came in the kit. I decided after a bit of research, because I actually tried 2 of these spacers together just to give me 32mm, just to give me a start point for the rear. Anyway, after a bit of calculation, that was way too wide, but it just gave me a start point. So 16mm on the front, and then from a company called PCD, these are lovely, exactly the same sort of quality machine things. These are, as you can read, 25mm spacers, and I think that'll be about right. So you'll have, as you can see the difference, 16 on the front and 25 on the rear. That'll just space out the rear enough. As you saw in the photo, the rear does tuck in. That'll just space out enough so it's a little bit equally stanced, and I think that is going to look mega. It's bugged me from day one, so I've always wanted to change that. So yes, we're going to run wider spacers on the rear, so fingers crossed that looks right. So anyway, we'll get on to fitting those in a bit, but that also means I have 2 spacers free that would have been on the rear of the Clio, and it just so happens, and I'll show you now, it just so happens that these 16mm spacers that are now spare from the Williams, I could put on the van, and it makes it have enough clearance on the van to stance out the wheels perfectly. They don't rub, because they did actually rub on the inner arch. It rubs just up here, up there, sorry. So it needed spacers. So those 16mm spacers, they're now the 2 that are free, fit perfectly on the rear of this, and mean that the car, sorry, the van, now has a perfect stance. They were all nice and wide out anyway. They were tucked well in. The rears are now back out, looking absolutely perfect, and they don't rub. So it's a bit of a win-win, really. I had to buy 2 new spacers for the Williams to space them out. That's now going to look stanced properly. The wheels won't look too far in, and the 2 spare spacers are now going on the van. So, and the spare ones are perfect. 16mm is absolutely perfect. So it's a proper win all round. So that's my spacer issue done and dusted, covered. That's going to look perfect. That's going to look perfect stance wise, because it is important. So yeah, that's the spacer bit covered, and you'll see later on in the video both cars with the other wheels on and sat on the ground with the spacers on. So as you can see, I've already jacked up the Clio, up the Express, because I'm going to whip all the wheels off. Ready to take down to my local tyre shop, which is literally 30 seconds away. What I'm going to do is I want to get them off, because I want to clean them up, because I've never cleaned them since I got them. They're not great, but I want to clean the rears up before they put the new tyres on and balance them all up. Just because I don't want them sticking the weights on dirty wheels. So I'm going to get all these off, get them all cleaned, and the next time you see these wheels, I'll have the tyres on, looking fresh. And we'll start fitting them on this, and then once this is all fitted, lowered back off the ground, I'll then get on to putting the new spacers and wheels onto the Williams, and that's how that will sit for the summer. I'm going to run these for this summer. Like I say, these need to come off anyway, because they are, well, there's not much tread left, and look how cracked they are. So these need replacing anyway. They're mint, so I may as well put them on for the summer with the new spacers on, and I can't wait to see how that looks. So that'll be sorted, and that'll be sorted. That's someone fully sending it, isn't it? Anyway, so there you go. You can see the 16mm spacers on here, perfect size for the van. Just spaces it out. Yes, I know I've still got the arch to do, and I've got the drum to paint. Don't worry, this will be painted. Don't worry, don't worry, it will be done. Anyone that knows me knows I'll get that done. So tyres off, wheels off even. And as you can see, that's the one that keeps going down. And to be honest, they're flipping rock hard anyway. I mean, like, they're proper old. I mean, they're wearing as well on the inner edge, some of them. Got loads of grip on, they've just not been used. So anyway, fresh tyres to go on. As I say, go back to the original size. Proxies aren't my favourite, some Teos, quite cool tread, but they're more than enough for the van, and you know, still a branded tyre rather than a yin yang 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 Ditchfinder Classic. So yeah, I'd rather something like that on than those. So they'll look fine on that, and going down to the original size will help with the van, I think, when it comes to the lows. But yeah, rock hard rubber tyres in the bin, new ones on, and then once that's done, go on to the Williams. Just quickly as well, this is why, look at the state of them. I want to get them cleaned up before any weights are fitted, because they are really nasty, aren't they? So yes, I want to get all them cleaned up. And here we are, wheels back, looking much better. Profile of those tyres, I think, is going to suit the van much better. So as you can see, I clean the inside of them. They're not great. I am going to get them refurbed at some point, but very pleased with that. I'm glad I went for the 185 55 15s now. So anyway, going to just clean up the edges of them and bang them on the van, and I'll show you that when I've got them on. And there we go, on. Get monster truck stance. Yeah, I think definitely need some lows, but yeah, really pleased with the fitment of those tyres, and hopefully I won't keep coming back to a flat tyre, which is annoying. But yeah, the profile, I think the profile's good. As I say, it fits nicely underneath now with the spacers on and everything. So yes, very pleased indeed. It's going to look so good low. So yeah, that's that van now done. Well, not done, but regards to tyres and wheels, done for now. So yeah, on to the Clio then, get that done. Before I fit the studs, we've been on the car now 3-4 years, you know, on and off. So this year I am going to clean everything up. So if it focuses, or maybe not. I'm going to clean the threads up first. So I'm going to tap all the threads, make sure they are clean, and then fit them. May as well do a proper job. These ones I've already done, the nuts have already been cleaned up and everything. So yes, all looking good. Using this to clean up all the threads. May as well do a proper job. Anyway, I'll get all this done and get on to cleaning the wheels. Next up, get these washed, because I was really bad and never cleaned them from last year. Just put them away. So we'll get all these cleaned up, looking nice. Perhaps wax them, seal them, and then get them on the Williams. There we go, looking a lot better. It's starting to rain, so I'm being quick. Good old Renault badge. But yes, flick it round. It's a bit better, isn't it? Right, a lot better. Just 3 more to do, but unfortunately, kind of sunny, but it's chucking it down. So I'll get the rest of these washed up, and then next time you see me, I'll be fitting them on the car. So yes, so let me get these done and I'll bring you back. Well, we'll get this side on and see how it's looking. Now, as mentioned before, when you buy the fitting kit, you get 2 different length studs. Bear in mind that's already screwed in. So one's 80mm, one's 100mm, and that's what comes with the original 16mm spacers. Now I can't remember, I think you meant to put the 100mm on the front and the 80 on the rear. Now, because obviously now I've got thicker 25mm spacers, I'm going to see if I can run the 100s on the front. So I'm just trying it, and then get away with the 80s on the, sorry, the 100s on the rear and get away with the 80s on the front. So anyway, I'm going to have a play around with that and see what I come out with. Right, after a bit of trialing, the rears definitely need to be the 100mm studs. Now these are well and truly in. I have used a bit of blue thread lock just on there just to keep them in. Now some of you are probably going to say, well, you shouldn't have done that, you will never get them out. It's not the red stuff, it's the blue stuff, so it will come out. Also, then I'm going to put loads of grease on the nuts. Again, that's after I've cleaned everything up. Everyone's probably going to say don't do that, but then again I don't want anything seizing, so anyway, I'll do it my way. So let everyone else know about it in the comments. Anyhow, let's get the wheel on. Right, that last clip you saw was about 2 weeks ago. I did put the wheels on, but I had an issue with the front wheels, which is what I'm currently sat in front of. The studs, the 80mm studs that were the 80mm studs that were meant for the rear, and obviously I'd put the 100mm ones that were meant to be on the front. I put those on the rear because they're bigger spaces. The 80mm studs that are on the front just aren't long enough. So I'll show you now. Actually, yeah, as you can see, they're just not long enough. I haven't been running it like this. I just had to move it around, so I've just put it on. So I basically bit the bullet and I bought a whole set of brand new studs, 100mm all round, with the M12 1.5 on one end to M12 1.25 on the other, which is what these are. And I've gone 100mm all round. Thought I'd get a brand new set. I know I'd clean the other ones up, but do you know what? Yeah, you know what, I just thought, if you're doing it properly, you know, if you're doing it, do it properly. So I'm going to just change all the studs to these brand new 100 ones and be done with it, really. So I have also been talking to a few people and they've said go for a red thread lock. Now again, debatable, isn't it? Do you use blue or red? But this will mean that they're not going to come out. But yeah, I thought, you know what, I mean, not focusing, it's, why not? I'm going to use the original nuts because they're fine, nothing wrong with those. But yeah, so for now, I'm going to fit on the front the new 100mm, and on the rear, in my own time, I'm not going to film it, but in my own time I'm going to swap the 100mm older ones that are now on the back. I'm going to take those out and swap them to these new ones, but I won't film that. So anyway, let me get these front ones in, I'll drop it down and I'll show you what the car looks like and call this video a day because it's gone on long enough. No point in me showing you the rear ones because I'll just do that in my own time, but you know what it will look like. So anyway, well, let me get all these fitted and I will show you what it looks like. Alright, yeah, I'm in different clothes, it's another day. Time just whizzes by, doesn't it? But yes, anyway, let me show you how it's looking now. There you go. Excuse the dirt. I've been using it, but yeah. Now I've obviously spaced it out. There you go, there's the new spaces on the front, new studs. Obviously there's standard 16mm spaces there. The original 100mm studs, and obviously the 3mm plus the 25 there. And now the actual stance is perfect. Yeah, to me it really has made a difference. It looks absolutely spot on. I mean, like, I'll put the pictures back up now of what it looked like before, but it just proper fits the arches nice. You know, you got perfect gap there. Look at that, I can just get my finger in, so there's no rubbage. It just fits them nice now. So there you go. Like I say, to be honest, I've not fitted the, you know, the 100mm things there, 100mm studs on there. I've not changed the rear ones, they're the originals, because I'll be honest, these are crap, absolute crap. so I didn't bother changing the rear ones. So I am going to have to come back to this and look at something else. Really not impressed with those, so they're rubbish. In fact, I chewed a couple of them up, they're in the bin. But anyway, 100mm studs all around now. Stanced how I want. Pleased at that. So yeah. So anyway, in my own time I will I will come back to these studs and get it sorted, but you won't see it on video, I'll just do it. But now the Williams is looking exactly how I want. So anyway, if you like this video, do the usual stuff, like it, subscribe, comment. If you don't like it, let me know. You know, bit of a boring video, but it's more of a blog for me really. So anyway, I'll catch you on the next one. Hope you like the stance of the Williams now and the fitment of the wheels. So yeah, anyway, catch you all soon. Take care, bye. Bit of bonus footage here. I'm fitting Faber Bilstein dog bone mount onto the Williams to get rid of the polybush one. So yeah, just thought I'd show you, being as I've done a video. Anyway, I'll bosh this in. Just show you when it's done. I'm fed up with it rattling around. I'm too old for that. Out with the old. Nothing wrong with that. Good to go. Sell that. In with the new. Yeah. There you go. All fitted. Super quick. Literally 5 minutes. Just stops the rattle of the vibration once it's, you know, when the dog mode, it's like on ticker, it's like it's driving me nuts. So yeah, all done.